Somewhere along the line, I think we all realized that what started out as a journey to retrace history was actually the story of us searching for the sense of adventure we'd felt we'd lost in the hustle and bustle of life. We're all unique, everyone in their own way. Some of us happy, others more serious, but the brotherhood built through the trial, determination, and that old pioneer grit is what makes us who we are. We are Ox Overland, and this is the story of our Oregon Trail expedition. It was 3 years ago and I had an idea that came to me like most good ideas do, while watching TV. As a gold prospector on the screen transported his equipment by wagon, the thought occurred to me, why not retrace the Oregon Trail in reverse, staying off paved roads and using our vehicles as our home and transportation? It sounds crazy even now that we've completed what we set out to do, but it was something that Kobe and I had become passionate about, and before we had much choice in the matter, the idea took hold of us. We've spent late nights planning, had disagreements along the way, we've laughed and screamed and lost friends. But despite it all, the 2 years leading up to the expedition was only a speck on the map compared to what we were about to face on our 5,000-mile journey across the Oregon Trail. It's hard to explain the feelings we felt as we said the goodbyes to our loved ones and embarked on this adventure we'd pictured millions of times in our minds. The plan was simple. Kobe, Wilkie, Chris, and I will be the core spending the entire expedition together. Zach will be with us for the first 2 weeks, then returning home. And for the first few days, Jesse and JP will be following along in the Forerunner. The expedition will be 44 days in total, 35 of which will be spent on the Oregon Trail. And for our 5,000-mile journey, we tried to stay as close to the original trail as we could while avoiding paved roads, which proved to be harder than we had imagined. I know that was a lot of information to take in, but just remember, 1 team, 2 vehicles, and 5,000 miles down the Oregon Trail. I don't think anyone slept much the night before, but we all woke up with the kind of excitement a child has on Christmas morning. This was it. The years of planning were over, and it was time to put down the first tracks on our journey. So it's day 1, just left the families, we hit the trail, heading east. We're pretty excited. It's a surreal feeling to be actually on the trail. Picked up a couple stragglers with us, some of the folks that hang out with us back home. Jeremy Christensen and his family, and Matthew Mangus, otherwise known as Manga Rollin'. They're going to chill with us for the afternoon and then peel off, and then we're on our own. We're going to hightail it through Oregon, see how quickly we can get through, and fingers crossed, no issues. It was familiar terrain on this first leg of our expedition. We'd spent many hours traveling the Oregon section of our route, and although much of the voyage was a mystery, we were excited to revisit some of our favorite places in our native state. We started down Old Forestry Road 4610 in pursuit of whatever adventure the day held, but I'm not sure we were ready for what came next. We're only about a half an hour into our expedition, but this had to be one of the sketchiest interactions we've had with anyone we've met along the trail. We were about 10 miles down the road. Chris and I were in the front leading with the Land Cruiser, and we noticed a dark green late 90s Ford F-150. Doors open, dome light on with no one around, or so we thought. The first thing I noticed were the bullet holes in the tailgate and the driver's side door, which wouldn't be completely unusual in the back roads of Oregon, but these were from the inside out. As we pulled up, we noticed a gentleman coming around from the backside of the truck. He was an interesting fellow, who had by the looks of things made some questionable decisions in his life. His story was vague, but he had obviously veered off the road at some point, and not being the kind of team that likes to leave people stranded, no matter how suspect the situation, we decided to get him back on the road and pointed in the right direction.
So we are about 10 miles into our trip, and we found a guy on the side of the road that was needed some help. He was backing up, and his F-150 kind of went over the edge, so I'm going to put a strap to the back of my Ranger and pull him out, hopefully, yeah.
Let's go. Did this happen last night, or? No. What's that?
Just a little bit ago.
Charging adjacent.
one of your German?
No. We can get them all charged soon. I think the batteries are working. All right. Charging system. Yeah. Before we leave here, actually, we can get this charged. Cool. The box is plugged in. All right. You're tight now, so you should start pulling. I'm afraid that.
Let's have him put it in drive and get the gas.
Yeah. Gently, gently.
All right, let's go.
All right, stop.
You always have to go into these kind of delicate situations cautiously. It turns out one of the guys saw a gun on the front seat, and we ran into a couple of mountain bikers about 20 minutes later that said they saw his truck stuck off the side of the road and he was walking home, which by the sound of things was probably his best option. Nevertheless, we made our way down the trail and in the direction of the slip.
This is it. This is the moment that we've been planning for 2.5 years, and we're heading towards the place they call the slip. We went through this section of trail last year, but it's really exciting. Right now we're gonna pull over and air down and we'll hit the trail again.
Slip, as we've come to call it, is an old washout that has only become worse as man in nature has done its part to create a giant hole in what was once a maintained forestry road. It was an obstacle we'd faced last year without much of a problem, but with the mud and water we had this time around, it was bound to get interesting. One by one, we slid down the dirt, guiding our wagons through the obstacle in 4 low with relative ease. The team went first, followed by our entourage, leaving main guy's relatively stock 100 series with the trailer for last.
Just getting through a place called the Slip, back behind there.
You ready, man
It's a
guy?
big drop off, and then it does this turn right here. And man guy, who's rolling with us for the day, got a little stuck.
I think we're ready down here, so whenever you're ready at the top, let's do it.
Yeah, we're ready. We're good.
Drive with it. Wait, straighten the tires out, Right, yeah, there you go. Get it, yep. Stop. Matthew Mangus.
So we just pulled 5 rigs through the slip. It was pretty gnarly. First 3 got through pretty good, except for the Land Cruiser here with the trailer. But had the winch on the Tacoma, and it pulled it up nice and slow, and everybody's through safe. So it was pretty fun.
After all the morning's action, we wandered our way up to the top of High Rock. It is one of my favorite views in the Mount Hood forest. It was a great place to stop for lunch and to say our goodbyes as we parted ways with our friends. It was just the team now, so we hustled our way down the dirt trail toward the last gas station for 200 miles. It was a mad dash to get filled up, grab a last-minute snack, and head back down the road in hopes of making it further along in our journey than we did last year. We were making good time as we pushed our wagons down the dusty trail toward tomorrow. We left the challenges of the day behind as we stacked up miles and made our way down the trail toward sunset around the campfire. We traveled down Barlow Road through the small town of Wamick and found a primitive campsite nestled up along the side of 15 Mile Creek, several hours ahead of last year's excursion and earlier than expected.
It was day one. It went pretty well. We had a little slowdown at the beginning, just getting out of camp, but that was to be expected. It was day one, so we were all kind of trying to figure stuff out.
Just seeing the level of passion that's going on everybody's part. We all have different skill sets, we come from different backgrounds, and somehow we found each other. So we decided 2 years ago to go on this crazy mission in search of Independence, Missouri, the start point of the Oregon Trail. So I couldn't ask for a better group of guys to be here doing this with. First day in the books, I'd say things are looking up. Things are looking up for OTO. Stoked on life. Happy to be here.
You couldn't ask for a better group of guys to do something like this with and experience it for the first time myself, and getting their knowledge and showing me what to do and so on like that. So in general, brotherhood.
We sat around the fire exchanging stories of the day, each one inspired by the pioneer spirit that still beckons adventurers towards the exploration of the unknown.
Taking a quick break and just taking in a cold drink and trying to stay cold. It's hard with shirts on. I'm just kidding.
Anyway, how you doing?
Good.
Nice. What are you doing?
You know.
What are you doing to Zach, Colby? Come on. What?
Stay right there. This guy. This guy.
And JP still working on trying to find that part. I forgot what it is at the moment. Spindle.
What if that's how we said hello? Hello. How's it going? Great. How are you doing? I'm doing really good. Did you give a hug? You have to go on the butt? Oh, okay, yeah, that's good.
Day 3, familiar territory. We ended up doing, I think, about, I'm starting over, Burns just farted.